Hello, it's Jay here again and welcome to another tutorial. So on this lesson we're picking up where we left off with the player GUI. And in this one we're going to create the GUI function. So we want private void on GUI, and then we'll get the brackets in place. So what we're going to do first is underscore player GUI style is going to equal the skin we created and the label portion of that skin. And we're going to quickly put that into the comments. And we'll come to the line below. In fact, let's separate this out. I will separate these next three lines on their own. We're going to say that player GUI style dot font is going to equal, and we're going to put brackets, and we're going to say it's going to be a font from the resources dot load, open and close brackets, close the line off. So the actual font I'm going to import is this one, auto wide regular. This is a royalty free font. So obviously you can use any font you wish, but for the purposes of YouTube I tend to use royalty free and public domain assets. So with that said, let's put this into the script. So resources.load, inside the brackets the quote marks, and we'll paste in the name. And we'll put this into the comments. So set the font from the player GUI style to equal a font for loaded from the resources folder with name of, and then I'll just put the quote marks. I'm sure you've all got different names for the fonts you're going to use. So player GUI style font size is going to equal, and we already determined our font size here based on the resolution the game has been running. So we can just reference these variables. That's why we made them static here. So we'll say game manager dot, and we want the player GUI font size, and we'll just put a similar sort of comment. So font size, and I'll just use the same comment actually, just with font size rather than font for the first part of the line, and from the second I'll just put from I'll put the player GUI font size from the game manager script. And let's just have a look. I'm going to change that naming convention. Let's hit resize. I'm going to change font. So the F in font and the S in size to capitals. And it should have gone through and changed all references, which it has. And the last one is going to be the style dot, and the alignment of the text is going to equal text anchor dot middle center. And we'll put this into the comments. So set the, and it's actually to do with the text. And we'll just save that off there. So those of you that have watched my previous tutorials will have already seen me test this type of code out, but I will do it again. So I'm just coming to the Play GUI skin. I'm just clicking on label. That's what we're altering. So as you can see, we have font size, style and alignment. So as you can see, font none, font size 0, alignment upper center. Let's hit play. And now we're going to come, and if we actually come to the game itself, so we come to the player GUI script, and we're going to open up the player GUI style. As you can see, it's with label. So as you can see, the font is now being loaded here. The font size is worked out at 55. The style's normal, we haven't changed that, but the alignment has changed to middle center. Let's stop that again. And just so you can see that when we come back to the skin, as you can see, it's changed to our new values and new assignments here. The main camera still has everything revert back to normal, but if we hit play again, and all those values are loaded in, and let me just show you something in the game manager. So the font size, let's double that to 40. So let's save that off. Player GUI font size is now divided by 40. The screen width by 40 rather than 20. So that should affect the font size. Now it's not going to affect it at the moment until we've loaded the game in once and that code has had opportunity to run. But again, if we come to the main camera, as you can see, the font size has now changed because we've altered that value. Let's stop that there. If we come to the skin, again, it's changed to 27. So we can see that the font size is in fact based upon the equation we have here. I'm just going to set that back to 24 now. That was just for demonstration purposes. And this code will become useful when we actually come to doing the text for the GUI. But now we're going to say GUI dot, and we're going to use begin group, open and close brackets, new rect. In brackets again, we're going to put 0, 0, by the screen width, and we'll have comma again by the screen dot height. We'll come to the end of the line, we'll close brackets. So this is just creating a group in which we're going to actually draw our GUI. And the comments will explain how this works for those of you who haven't watched my previous videos. So we're just beginning a GUI group. And we're going to put beginning at this position, which is the top corner, 0, 0, top left, by the full screen width and height. And then we're going to use GUI, and we need to end the group. We just open and close brackets, close the line off. That's all we need to do when we're ending a group. So end the current GUI group. So we've got a group that takes up the whole screen. We end that group, and we're going to draw the first texture. So GUI.draw texture. We're going to open and close brackets. Again, inside the brackets, new rect. And we're going to open and close again. And I'll just enter, so we're breaking this up for... So we have each line easy to see and easy to comment. So I'm going to put 0, comma, I'm going to enter 0, comma, and we're going to say screen dot width. Again, we're going to comma by the screen dot height. Now we're going to come between the closed brackets. We're going to put comma, enter, underscore GUI border. That's what we're drawing. And we're going to close the line off. So let's just have a look. Okay, I've got the old texture. I'm actually redoing the GUI at the moment, but we'll use the old one. So we're drawing the texture across the whole screen, just like we did with the begin group. So we begin a group within the parameters of whole screen, and we're drawing the texture within the same parameters, again at this position, by these dimensions, and this is what we're drawing. So I'll just do the GUI border to begin with, and I'll put and draw the GUI border texture. And I'll do the first line, and you'll see the reason why I'm doing the first and last line and coming back to those in between. So draw a GUI texture, that's all we need. So I don't actually want this taking up the whole screen. I want a little bit of a gap all the way around the screen. And for that, we're going to modify the values using these two offsets here. So let's just save that off for the moment. We'll come to the main camera. Just make sure the GUI frame is assigned in the inspector. Let's hit play. So as you can see, it's drawing this framework. In case you're wondering, rather than having one large box and then a smaller box inside, I've got these now as two separate boxes on either side in the newer one. I'm still working on the GUI, and as always, once I've finished it, I'll make it available to certain Patreon tiers. But as you can see, this has been drawn across the whole screen. There's no gap. So what we're going to do is come back to the player GUI. We're going to come to this first 0. We're going to say 0 plus the offset from the game manager script. So game manager dot, and we want the screen width offset. And I'll put just at this position. Width, you could also put at 0 plus the offset. So 0 plus the offset value. So you could put that either way. We're also going to do this 0 here. So again, we'll use the plus. Game manager dot screen height offset this time. So I'll just copy that comment. I'll paste that in below. And for the screen width, again, we're going to say minus, and I'm actually going to put a little equation. So I'm going to put this equation in brackets. So minus, open and close brackets. Inside the brackets, we're going to say game manager dot, and I'm going to use the screen width offset, and I'll actually divide that by 2. Because I'm not divided by, sorry, times 2, and that's because we want the offset amount on either side. So we start drawing at 1 offset in this line. We draw the screen width minus an offset and the offset here. And we put this in brackets, so we say the actual total of this equation is what you minus from the screen width. That's how that works. So let's put by the screen width minus, I'll put modifier, and you can put equation or whatever. We're going to do the same with the screen height, and we're going to use the same equation, only we're going to use the screen height offset times 2, And yes, I'm going to have to tidy up these comments, but I'll do that again off camera. I'll probably just break both these lines into 2 more lines. Something like that, but I'll just paste the comment in now. In fact, I'll quickly do this, so it won't take a moment. So let's just cut that. Paste that in there. That should have been a minus there. And we'll just paste that in. Oh, so that's tidied up now. Let's just save that off. We're going to test this out, so I'll just allow that to recompile. We'll hit play. So as you can see now, we have a nice border. A gap between the border and the screen width here and the screen height. I may have to adjust the values in the game manager script for the height, but again I'll experiment with that off camera, and we'll do that in another video. For now I just want to get things working, which they are. I think we should leave it here for this lesson. So as always, I hope you enjoyed this lesson. I hope to see you next time. And as always, until then, bye for now.